how's this going to go? What's going to happen?
There's going to be a lot of arrests made. Now, would you classify that this is going to start a genocide? Is this going to start a civil war?
Hi everyone, thank you for watching. By law, I have to tell you that this is for entertainment purposes only. All videos are property of Psychic Liz Cross, LLC. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here, joined as usual by psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. Welcome back yet again.
I know I'm not around much in the summer, and so as I told you before, sporadic until September. Anyway, I am here today, and we are going to look at a potential, possibly disturbing, life-changing, whatever situation that is happening or going to happen or in Ireland. So the new IRA. Now I had to do some reading up on the new IRA. I thought they were like brand new, but apparently the new IRA have been going for about 13 years. Not 100% sure about what their aims are. I don't know anything about them at all. But apparently they have issued a warning to the Irish government to say that either you get rid of the migrants and all the illegal people that you've allowed to come in the country, or we'll do it and we'll start a civil war, etc. Now, before we start, interestingly, many, 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 many moons ago, probably, I can't remember, but definitely within the last year, Cliff High, in one of his reports and his data, said that when things kick off, it will be Ireland first. And so all these months later, what he predicted seems possibly could be coming to the forefront. So let us start with a couple of ex real IRA chiefs. One of them is called Peter Butterley. We'll start with him, please.
Okay. All right. Yes. What would you like to know?
Okay. Why were you killed?
Why were you killed? He owed someone a lot of money.
Okay. So all right. So it was because you didn't pay a debt.
Is it because you didn't pay? Yes, millions.
Oh, okay. Obviously, that's another that's another side angle there. How come he owed somebody millions? But that's not the point of this. So, all right. Is he aware of the organization that's calling itself the new IRA that is basically making threats to the Irish government about the current migrant situation in Ireland?
Fully aware. Yes.
Okay. Is it the is it the new IRA that is doing this? It's not another splinter group or somebody masking or cloning or pretending to be. Is it the new IRA as he understands it?
As you understand it, isn't it? It absolutely is. Yes.
Right. Are there any differences? So back in the times of what they called the Troubles in the 70s and the 80s, the IRA was fighting for a united Ireland against the British state, and obviously they were fighting the Protestants in the Northern Ireland. As far as he is aware, has that been patched up either temporarily or permanently, insofar as the people that are now in the new IRA that are making these alleged threats to the Irish government, is it that it doesn't matter what religion they're from?
That is correct. Yes. They're banding together.
Right, that's what I thought it might be the case. Okay. How's this going to go? What's going to happen?
Ooh, how is this going to go? Is it going to be, it's going to be difficult. So he's speaking from the perspective of the new IRA.
Yep,
Obviously, he's biased
yep,
towards the IRA.
yep.
And he says it's going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of arrests made. There's going to, basically these new IRA members, they're putting their lives on the line, and a lot of them will be found and arrested. Some will be shot, some will be killed. Are they actually going to target Irish or UK politicians, absolutely 100%. Yes, they are going to target the government officials as well. Now, would you classify that this is going to start a genocide? No. Is this going to start a civil war? No. Are they going to run all of the migrants out? They're going to make it quite unbearable that no one would want to go there.
Right. And obviously, as we discussed pre-camera, the fact that the Irish government does nothing about it, essentially they are acting as enablers. They want these people in for whatever reason. Maybe they don't know themselves, or maybe they're just told, I don't know, but they want them there. Is this going to change government policy?
Is this going to change government policy? No. According to Peter Butterly, he's saying no. The only thing that's going to happen is it will shift the migration over to England and Scotland and Wales and stop them from coming to Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland for fear of being targeted. Are people going to get killed? Yes, people are going to be killed. Are they? So that, because they're saying, I mean, in one report, we don't actually know. We're going to probe them in just a second. We're going to grab the new IRA as an entity and ask them questions. But in one report, they're basically saying that they intend to go door to door and just chuck people out of their homes and send them packing. That's what now this Butterly says that's what they intend to do. They do intend to do that. And will they try? Yes, they will try. And is it going to be a sort of a recreation of the scenes in Belfast not that long ago where they set the homes on fire? They targeted migrant homes and hotels. And yes, that's exactly what they're going to do. Is the UK military, the British military, or the Irish military going to get involved? Yes, they are. They're going to get involved in what way? Opposition? Yes.
Well, the British military are not going to get involved in Southern Ireland, surely.
No. Northern Ireland?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, because that's not part of the United Kingdom, Southern Ireland's a completely separate country. Okay, let's hold him there a minute and ask this guy, who was another prominent member of the new IRA. This guy was killed 2012, apparently. So, and his name is Alan Ryan. Okay, can we get him, please, Liz?
Yes, I have him here.
Okay, I'm going to ask the same question. Why was he killed first?
Why were you killed? It was a gang thing. What do you mean a gang thing? He was involved in some lots of gang activity. So was it the gang? Yes, it was a gang that killed him. And was it the gang that you were working for? No, it was an opposite gang. They were drug running, they were laundering money.
Okay.
They
Right.
also had a lot of crypto, or was it crypto or illegal? What? What is he saying to? Oh, now they're in crypto. Sorry. He's talking a mile a minute, this guy. Slow down. So now they just launder it. Oh, okay. He says now they just launder everything in crypto. Before they had to launder through cash
Right.
dealings, right? But they don't have to do that anymore. That's what got him in trouble, was he was laundering money, cash. They were dealing with a lot of cash, and the rival gangs were after the cash. So it was like a robbery stroke gang violence type of deal.
Right. Okay. At the time of his death, he was allegedly the leader of the new IRA. What did the new IRA stand for back in those days, in 2012? What was the purpose of it? I mean, what was it trying to achieve?
What was the new IRA? What did it stand for? Well, it was basically to keep the threat going. Why? Well, it was organized crime. Back then, he says it was, they didn't really have to do anything politically. Did you have a lot of, no, hardly any political involvement. It was more about organized crime.
under the banner, under the heading, the banner of the new IRA. Yeah.
Under the banner of the, yes, yes, because the IRA, the old IRA, also had a lot of criminal activity to raise funds.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Um,
Well, someone,
Armed
yeah.
robberies,
Yeah, yeah.
extortion, racketeering, smuggling, black market schemes, kidnapping, coercion. They also had like commercial enterprises, service networks. And then, as we established before the recording, a lot of international donors as well to
Yeah,
the old
especially
IRA.
right. Okay. All right. So let's bring him up to now and ask him, is he aware of the recent proclamation, the alleged proclamation by the new IRA about that the Irish government should get rid of all of the migrants, and if not, the new IRA are going to start a civil war, and I guess by inference they are going to get rid of these migrants. I mean, I'm not sure if they actually
Um,
said that or did they just say they were going to start a new civil war. So I'm thinking, is the civil war between the Irish people and the migrants? Is that what he's saying, or what? What does he know about it?
And what do you know about it? The new doctrine, do they have, yeah, they fully have a doctrine. Now, is it because that they are intending to, yeah, they want to actually overthrow the current government. Now, bearing in mind, these are all things that they would like to do. Whether they successfully do it is another matter, but their intention is to put pressure on the government to terrorize the citizens into, you know, the pressure of the government. So by terrorizing people, having bombs. What is so interesting about all this is when I used to work for the old Bill, Mr. Shakespeare,
Uh-huh.
we had IRA training because of course, the IRA would call in their own bomb threats, and they had specific code words established with the London Metropolitan Police so you knew whether it was the actual IRA calling in an actual credible threat, or
Or
if it was someone posing as an IRA or an offshoot group.
right. Yeah, I did know that actually.
They had established passwords through their bomb threat. So if you took a call from the IRA, the actual IRA, the old IRA, you had to bring up the standard operating procedure, and you would have to say, okay, what is the code word? And then you had another code word after that. And so that way, Scotland Yard would immediately know whether or not it was a credible threat. But of course, what they have done in the past is they would say that the bomb is down this end of the street, get everybody running up towards the other end of the street, and then they set the bombs off at the other end of the street. Now that has happened before. I don't know if that was the actual IRA group. See, this Ryan fella just told me it was. It was. They did it on purpose. So I
Okay.
mean,
So what does
let's
what does he make of what the new IRA are saying about this situation and what is going to happen? What's going to
what
be the
do you
outcome?
make of the new IRA situation? I mean, he's very biased.
Yep.
So he's talking quite positively about their agenda. Is the agenda going to work? No, this is not going to work. It is going to work in so much as, are you going to terrorize people? Yes. Are you going to put pressure on the government? Yes. Is it going to change anything? No.
Uh, well, we've already heard from somebody else that it might change insofar as the migrants might not want to be there. They might not want to go there because they might think it's not that hospitable and welcoming for them as it has been in the past. So
Right.
maybe it's self entrance denial or something. They don't want to go there. Yeah.
Right. But they're still going to go. So instead of just going to Northern Ireland or Ireland, they're going to go to England, Scotland, and Wales. So I mean, is it just that they want to get rid of the migrants from Ireland? Is it just Northern? Yeah, I mean, they're not so concerned. He's telling me they're not so concerned with the rest of the UK, even though quite. So are more of the members Northern Irish, or are more of the members like from Ireland, Southern Ireland? It's both. It's about 50-50, both. So they're not concerned. So the Northern Irish are not concerned about the UK. No, they're not concerned about the rest of the UK. They're only concerned with Irish country.
Yeah, well,
So
it sort of
Northern
makes
Ireland.
sense, really. I mean, it does sort of make sense because you care about your own neighborhood. You don't, I mean, it's like it's the. I mean, let's put it this way: if you're in the south of England, okay, in Kent, you could be 26 miles away from France. Are you really that bothered about what happens in France, or are you bothered about what happens in England? Most people are bothered about what happens in their own country. So, yeah, I suppose they're looking at it from a point of view of if in their ideal world, if they were to shift them all out, the fact that they might end up in the UK or some, it doesn't really affect them so long as they're not there. Is that right?
Is that? Yes, that is the general idea, he
Right.
says. Yes.
So,
So
in
I
other
think
words,
the big
push them out of
question,
Ireland, and it's not really a problem. I mean, it's not their problem. They're not really thinking further about where they're going to go. Um, so, if they
no.
end up in the UK, that then becomes the problem of the UK, if the UK want to call it a problem. Right, let's whiz over to Gerry Adams. Now, he was in the old IRA.
Okay. He has so much money. As I tap into him, mind probe him, he has so much money.
Okay,
Unbelievable
right.
amount of money.
Okay. Well, he's 77 years old, apparently. Right. What is his view on the new IRA's stance in relation to what they have said to the Irish government about the migrants currently in Ireland?
What is your personal view about what the new IRA? What do you think about the new IRA? He doesn't like them. He doesn't think that they're like the real IRA or the old IRA. He thinks that they're just a bunch of thugs with nothing to not doing it. Do you think they're doing it to save the country? No, he's like, they don't have anything else better to do, so this is the best that they could come up with. Now, that's his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Okay. Does he, but okay, but it it has been stated by them. Does he agree with it, or does he agree with their position, or does he not agree? And
Do you
in either case, explain why or why not.
do you agree with the position of the new IRA? I mean, yeah, he says he does agree with their position based preservation of the culture, the population, according to his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Do you think they're going to be able to pull it off? No. He's like, heck no, they're not. They're not as sophisticated as we are. I mean, they had all sorts of underground channels and radios and phones. And
Yeah.
do you think that they have any money? He says yes. And do you think they have as much money as the old? He's like, no, nowhere close. And the reason I asked that is because, he got so much money just from donations, like charitable donations personally to him. That's where a lot of his money has come from. Which is, do you think that the new IRA are going to drum up enough support? No, he doesn't believe that. Do you
Well,
think that the
hang on.
new
Let me
IRA?
sorry. Let me
Mhm.
just interject there because that you've just preempted something I was going to say, and let me do it as a question. Right. So he's still around, and does he still lives in North or South Ireland? I don't know where he lives, but does he live in Ireland, North or South?
Yes, he's
Okay.
got like some country mansion
Okay.
estate.
That's fine. So Is he tapped into the population? I mean, is he understanding what does he think the population think about this? I mean, has he got the mood of the nation? Does he understand? I mean, what does he think the nation want? Do they want the migrants in there, on the one side of the coin, or do they, not want the migrants there?
So the two guys that we were channeling prior are saying no, he does not have the mood of the country.
Ah, right,
He doesn't have a grasp on that at the moment. He says that, or they say he is totally out of touch with society. I mean, he's living, far away and in his own little bubble. He's
right.
got more money than he's got more money than you can shake a stick at, is exactly what they said. So let's ask Jerry Adams. Do you believe that you are in touch with current Irish society? Now, when I asked him that question, he shrugged his shoulders and was like, basically, he doesn't really care.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's get this guy, Martin McGuinness.
Oh, okay.
Let's ask Martin McGuinness. Is he aware of what the new IRA have allegedly said to the Irish government with regards to the migrant situation in Ireland?
You aware? Oh, he's fully aware. Yes.
What does he think about it? What does he think will happen? And what will be the
What
net
do you,
effects?
what do you think about it? Well, now in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions from the other side, he's all for it.
Right.
And what do you think the net effect will be? Well, he's saying the same thing, that it will become so uncomfortable, nobody will want to go there.
I would imagine, this is my personal thoughts and opinions, that if that was the end of the sorry, not the end of, if that was the outcome, then I would imagine that the protagonist would be relatively happy. I mean, if you make something so bad that nobody wants to go there, let's group the new Irish IRA together
Okay.
and let's ask them that question.
So when do you intend to start? They've already started. They're telling me now. They've
Hmm.
already started. So why did you feel the need to warn the government first? See, they said it's the right thing to do. We'll give them a chance to respond. If we don't like the response, then we're starting.
Okay. Why do they believe that the Irish government are actively doing this, either passively, actively, or actively, but they are definitely, that it's definitely part of Irish government policy. Why do they believe that the Irish government are facilitating and enabling all of this? Why do they think they're doing it?
What do you think the Irish government are facilitating all this? It's about population. What do you mean it's about population? Well, they're saying they're inviting them to come here and hurt our citizens. This is their personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not mine, not Mr. Shakespeare's. Please don't go crazy in the comments. There's no point because it's not our opinion. But they're saying, it has to stop. Somebody has to take control. So do you think that your actions are going to actually cause the government to change? Yeah, they do. They firmly believe that. Hand on heart, they're saying to me now they
Oh,
absolutely believe that the government would not want a recreation of the old IRA, because their personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions are that they fully intend to reenact the same scenarios as before.
right. Sorry, I missed the bit about the answer about why do they believe that the Irish government are doing it? Because they want more
Why do
population. I mean, is that what he said?
Yeah, why do you believe that the Irish government are doing it? I mean, their answer is they believe that they're trying to get rid of the Irish population and recreate a new population that they can control.
So population replacement?
Population. Yes, they believe that they are being replaced with those that are easily controlled. Now, that is what their answer is. Whether
Sorry, is
you
that
agree or
sorry, is that the
disagree,
answer? Sorry, is that the answer of the new Irish Republican Army as a grouped entity, or is that the answer of the Irish government?
no, that's the new IRA answer.
Okay, now group the government, Irish government together and ask them the same question.
So, why do you allow unfettered migration into either Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland? Well, Southern Ireland is like, well, because we belong to the EU, we have to. Northern Ireland are saying it's the right thing to do. Now, that was the answer from the government of Northern Ireland.
Right. Well, the government of the Northern Ireland, they have MPs, but I mean, it's controlled by Westminster. I mean, I know they have their own. Do they have their own parliament? I'm not sure, actually. But they're still, subsumed to Westminster. So, I mean, the sorry, the English. Okay, so we have quite a lot of migrants coming across the channel and everything into England, into the UK, and that's definitely government policy, and it has been for a while. And so, if it's government policy in England, Ireland, sorry, England, Scotland, um, I'm assuming it is in Scotland and Wales, then it would also go for Northern Ireland. I get that. But my question was more for Southern Ireland government, which is not controlled by the UK. And yes, they are part of the EU, but Ireland has been massively targeted for migration to Ireland. So what problem or what solution needed solving in Ireland that the answer was mass migration? Let's ask the Irish government that.
Why? What problem needed solving in Ireland to make you conclude that mass migration was needed? It's about, they say it's about working what? Um, it's about they needed more workers. They needed people to build infrastructure that what? That the Irish did or didn't want to do those jobs.
Okay, but
That was
most of the
their
people. Okay, all right. Well, that's plausible. Yeah, okay. The problem is they haven't attracted, from what I can see, from what the news is. I mean, most of the people that have come over have no skills whatsoever at all. So, that. I mean, would you want these people building your new housing blocks and things if they have no building skills?
Hmm. I think also what I'm getting from the Southern Irish government as I probe them, it's about maintaining a relationship with the EU. The EU has expectations, is what they're telling me, and they have to continue to meet those expectations and guidelines because they believe that trade with the EU is important.
Right. And because of that, is this an EU diktat that they should take all these migrants because and in return they will continue to trade with the European Union? Is that the logic here?
Is that the logic that you believe that if you continue to take migrants, that you will be allowed to continue to trade? Yes, I mean, they want to be part of the EU. There is no question about that. There's no wanting or willingness to exit from the EU. They are firmly attached to the EU. They believe it's good for the economy and it's good for business.
Okay. Unfortunately, though, I think that's going to turn out to be a big white elephant because I don't think the EU are going to be in much of a position to be doing the things that they think they're going to be doing. So anyway, all right. I think that's as far as we can go with this one.
Oh, the question was, will the sentiment spread and create vigilante groups in the UK? I'm getting a no on that.
Right. Well, not so much. Well, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what Cliff said, but he said that some of the tactics that start in Ireland will then be used in. He didn't say so much the UK. He said England. So whether that's, England as England on its own, I don't know. I can't remember now, but it was something along those lines. And then Sweden would be after that.
Will there be a movement in Sweden? Yes, there will be a movement in Sweden. Will there be a movement in the Netherlands? Yes. Will there be a movement in Germany? Yes. Italy? No. Um, but will, will this have any effect on the mass migration coming over into Europe? No, overall, no, it's not going to have an effect. Listen, I'm going to call a hit, and you can all hate me for calling this hit, but I'm going to call a hit. When all those England flags, not because of the World Cup, Mr. Shakespeare, right? Not because of, the cross of St. George, because the England team is in the World Cup. No, long before that, and everybody was raising those England flags, and they were like, yes, we're going to take a stand and we're protesting. What did I say? I said, this is all temporary. They'll all go back to the way it was. There was not going to be any sort of revolution, not any civil war. The flags will come down and the population will go back to operating as per usual. And guess what? I'm going to call a hit on that because that is exactly what has happened.
Right. Okay.
Silence from Mr.
Well,
Shakespeare.
no, it's fine.
Okay.
I do remember. I mean, I don't remember so much about the England flags on the World Cup, but a lot of the English flags went up in the UK when certain councils tried to ban them. They were allowing Palestinian flags, I think, or something like that, but they wouldn't allow English flags. So they started being put up by patriots everywhere, hanging off lampposts and all sorts of places. I mean, you don't really see it so much now, but that was just because certain councils said that they were trying to be more inclusive and said that, you couldn't put up English flags, but it's all right to put up Palestinian or whatever other flag, but not England. And so I think that's why
Right.
that started. And that was before the World Cup, way before the World Cup.
Yeah, way before the World Cup, and there were these mass marches in London. If you remember, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people were marching. They were being arrested. You remember they were arresting people in wheelchairs and people that were vulnerable and disabled people. And I said, this is going nowhere. Nowhere. Now you've look what's happened.
Mm.
Keir Starmer has stood down. Why? Exactly for the reasons we said he was going to stand down. When they figure out that he is not re-electable, then they are going to make him stand down. He will have to stand down. Now they've got Andy Burnham in. Who is he re-electable? No, he is not re-electable. Or sorry, he wasn't elected in the first place. My apologies. He is not going to be elected. Labor are going to lose the election, the next election when it's called. It's not going to be called now because they're trying to salvage everything, is what I'm getting.
Well, they're processing their agenda and they're carrying it on, and they've just taken the puppet at the top of the pile, and they replaced him with another one. So he I mean, they're almost like iPhones. They're disposable. You keep them for a couple of years, you get rid of them. You know. So I mean, it's technology. It's disposable technology. These politicians are disposable. They're not supposed to be there for year upon year upon year. They're there to do a job, to do a hatchet job in many cases, um, and then go.
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
yeah.
his ego wants him to be prime minister. Great, let him get on. I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't got a clue. But he doesn't have to. He gets told what to do. He's an order
And
taker, not an order maker.
that's exactly what we got from the probe that we did, asking what was going to change under Andy Burnham. And we got absolutely nothing.
Right.
It's carry on as usual, like the English flags, carry on as usual. The flags have come down and nothing has changed. The other thing is that Rupert Lowe asked to join forces with Nigel Farage.
Mm.
And Nigel Farage has rejected that request from Rupert Lowe
Mm.
because Rupert Lowe believed that they would be stronger together, restore Britain and reform, but Nigel Farage doesn't want to do that. So that could be another probe for another day. You said you believe, or you somewhere in there you heard that maybe what was it? He's controlled
Well,
opposition.
he's become controlled opposition because look where his loyalties lie, to the City of London. He's a banker. I mean, so, I mean, he's better than the Labour Party, but, he's not really there to govern as such. Um, Lowe would be, or somebody like Lowe would be a better Prime Minister and do better for England, but has he got the political support? At the moment, probably not. But bear in mind that the whole of the machine is against him, you know.
All right, Mr. Shakespeare, we'll stop this one here. Thank you very much.